What is going on YouTube? Hello, welcome back, Tom in 10. More of like a brief explanation. You're probably on my email list if you're not already, if you're watching this, and you probably downloaded this, which is to download if you go in my link tree. There's a free thing. I'd give away loads of stuff. So if you want to, I'm going to set my clock. Boom. If I can press that button. 10 minutes, so I don't waste your time. But we're going to learn how to use this little master annual planner that some of you lovely people have downloaded. All right, so obviously this is just maybe a little bit more in depth into what you can do with your. Before we go anywhere, like, subscribe, comment, say hello if you've downloaded it, share it on socials, please. Thank you. Right, so if we're going to go through how to use it, if you're going to use it, if you just think it's a cool thing to look at, that's absolutely fine. I like knocking out these kind of things, so you can have a little look at what I do with my clients and what you can do going forwards, okay? So this is very much in the realms of going from pro sport, and I was like, why don't I do this for my clients? So, and then I was like, more people should do it. Let's give it away for free. Absolutely fine. Right. So we're 1 minute 28 in anyway. So Lumen. So we've got this one we're going to go over and maybe like change some stuff so you know what to use. I'm just using Google Sheets, totally free. All you have to do is have an email account. If you've got that, you probably would have downloaded this already. So yeah, just give us a shout if you have, okay? And then we've got this one, which I'm currently making for DW. If you know Arthur, the kids TV show, it's his sister. I'm joking. Anyway, one of my clients that we'll be looking, we actually probably don't have to change this because unfortunately, where are we now? I'm recording this on the 7th of June, so it's give or take around here. We should be in block 2. We should be doing fast players. We've got a foot injury, okay? So I'm going to have to change this on the go, but that is check-in day tomorrow when I'm recording this, all right? So big stuff happening for DW. Obviously, I'm not going to give you my client's name. That's absolutely crazy. But this is a literal client, okay? No bells and whistles. I already put this in when I onboarded them in April. We're 2 months in. We're making some gains. We've had an initial phase. Boom. And I'll say they're an ultra sport person. Okay, so they do lots of down run-ins. Okay, so we've got some competitions that we're going through. All right. So we'll talk through this one, and then we'll play around through this one. Cool. Sounds good. We're going to fix it. All right, let's, we'll keep me big. All right, so I have a little walkthrough of what you can see on yours, right? So down here, obviously we've just got some categorizations, what you're going to be using it for. So we've got competitions, obviously the weeks. This is all correlated to every single week of the year, okay? So this is the 2023 one. There'll be another one next year. It's fine. Grab it when I let it go, okay? Probably be in December time. Not going to do it now, am I? But you could make it yourself. Obviously, it's editable once you've made your copy and put it download. All right, we've got some testing. Then we've got some stuff called training phases, training block, holidays, pretty much the same as taking a chill. And then we've got categories, okay? So these are just the categories that I have picked out for this client. These are not the ones that you set in stone because we can see them down here, okay? And then we got a peaking index, okay? So where I want them to peak, okay? I've not really filled that out because you can probably see there's this little cool graph here that's nothing crazy. It's literally the graph that I've put on top. It's not insane. So I probably just messed this up. Make it in line. There we go. Yeah, we're good. Right, so it sits in that little bit so you know what's happening and going on throughout the weeks. Okay? Let's make me a bit smaller because I'm getting annoyed with myself. All right, and down here we've got a little bit of a key. Okay, so the competitions, you'll see there's some marks in here for the week that you have a competition. So for a football player, this might be a match or trying in season. It'll be kind of these colors, and you'll just rank of importance of the part of the season more than anything else. And it literally could be all red, okay? But it's not going to be all dark red, okay? This is where we're peaking for, right over here. This one, don't really matter. DW doesn't really care about this event. We're probably going to skip it if we're really honest. Okay, but here we want to start to push. Probably okay, and then we go for this one, right? But in football or cricket or something like that, you'll see all of this. So maybe at the start of the season where we've got cup games, maybe at the end of the season, maybe finals, that kind of thing would be good. Athletics is a big one. You'll see lots of race weeks and stuff like that. Okay, tennis, blah, 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 anything you've got, put it in there, and it's order of importance of competition. So you know when you're going to be peaking for, which will relate to down here. So then we've got testing. So I tend to test and give them in or around about pre-comp or post-comp, okay? So you can see I give them a week to chill, so we'll peak week. So we'll go into a testing week, which will be a reduction of volume anyway, and then we'll go into a peak week. So you can see I've highlighted this one, and then we'll go competition, okay? Because we'll be peaking for hopefully like 2 weeks. We'll be feeling pretty good, but this will be up, down, up, okay? Stuff like that on terms of training volume and intensities. Cool. We probably don't want to go bang, bang, okay? I just want to see where that, especially on this one, it's a slightly different test to here, okay? But I normally jam it in when I can, probably at the end of a block, okay? You'll see as we go through this. All right, so we've got peaking. Yeah, I wanted to peak for here, but we're not going to. Deload, I haven't put any in because we're going to have to take a forced deload. I didn't need one here, but generally speaking, it'll be after competition or at the end of a block if needed. Okay, and then injury occurrence. So we're going to have to go in here and put injury occurrence already because we were doing testing, and this is what's happened in terms of injury. Okay, so I'm just going to color that bright pink right now as we go through because we know we got injured in those 2 weeks. Okay, so we can change that. And we'll change. We had to change some of the training. What's going on? All right. So down here we've got these kind of categories that is order of importance for what we're doing. Okay. So and we'll talk about it down here. These are the options that I could put in. I could put them all down there if I really wanted to. Not going to. Seems a lot of categories for me. I only needed these. Obviously, we can just extrapolate this out a little bit. All right. So if I was going to go in here, we've got linear speed, change direction, plyometrics, loaded power, strength, hypertrophy movement phases, ESD, and conditioning. If all in all, ESD development and conditioning are quite similar, if I'm really honest, but it might be a case of what they're doing in terms of maybe carry. We'll move this way. So linear speed's more sprinting and athletic based stuff. So you see top speed mechanics, acceleration phases, short distances, medium distances, long distances, okay? You'll see that we mainly will be doing moderate to long distances. He's a long distance runner. I won't be doing much short sprinting with him, okay? I won't be doing any acceleration with him. I'll be doing top speed with him because it's good for running mechanics, okay? But we'll mainly be hitting top speed, medium distance, long distances, and that's a blanket across the board, okay? Then we've got a competitive season, you can see there, okay? The change direction, not needed. He runs in a straight line, okay? If it's a blended in, there'll be lateral work. That's absolutely fine. Plyometrics, 100%. This changes throughout, okay? You'll see I went for a moderate phase when I brought him on. This is more of like a GPP, okay? Everything's going to be moderate. I'm going to learn how that person's doing. And then depending on block and around competition, you'll see it'll be fast plyometrics. I'll have with light power and low repetition. So these are very high intense, okay? But low volume. And then I moved into kind of a little bit less intense because it's slow plyometrics, heavier power really, but higher reps in terms of strength, that are bordering on the hypertrophy, pack some muscle on, put some hay in the barn, that kind of thing. That'll be less intensity, but higher volume. Okay, so it enables more recovery, but we won't be peaking. We'll be getting more fatigued because there's more volume in there. All right, so that's relates to that, but obviously we can have moderate and medium and stuff like that in terms of the loaded power, the strength, and everything. Okay, hypertrophy movement phase, I haven't got that in here. It's not really necessary. That would only be in a case of if I'm manipulating eccentrics and isometrics and that kind of focus. Probably more in kind of rugby players, that kind of thing. If we're going through maybe a triphasic phase, I would write that in maybe the strength as well, okay? So that's when I focus solely on concentrics. I focus solely on heavy isometrics, anything like that, okay? ESD, cardiac outputs, aerobic power, alactic power, lactic capacity, lactic power, lactic capacity. I did a another video, go look at it on that kind of ESD conditioning just over an assault bike, and how to kind of program it and what they are. So that's where it goes into here, but I haven't got that here because he mainly will do interval training if needed, but it will go in and around there. I might change this, okay, and put ESD conditioning instead. Cool. And then this graph is probably the cool one, and you're like, ooh, this is fun, because on the other one, it's just going up and down, okay? So this will be guided, so when they're going to competition, you'll see the red one is the intensity, and the blue one is volume. So we started off pretty low, and then we're going to peak kind of moderate, kind of chasing each other, and then we start to split when I want to peak kind of for these events, okay? So we should be peaking slightly, and then I've mishmashed, okay? So he should be getting a little bit more recovery because he hasn't got an event to peak for, and we go higher volume, get some hay in the barn, put some real training in, but a little bit lower intensity, so probably some easier loads, but we're going to get some lots of repetitions in, okay? Really go for it. And then we start to switch again because we know we want to peak for these, okay? So this one, and we're going to be up there, okay? So we know we've got a holiday here, so it's probably going to be chill. So that's why the deload probably will happen. And then we go up here. So we have got an aerobic testing period here. Then we'll deload, and then we'll race. We'll see how that goes, okay? Not great timing and all of this kind of stuff, but we'll see what happens. And then we graduate, peak for high intensity here, and drop off of volume, okay? So I'm still going to work out where I want to go post this testing, okay? We'll see how these events go, and then I want to test and reevaluate. I'll probably want to see what happens here before I go into anything, because I need to figure out whether I need to spend more time, because you can see we've mismatched fast plyo, slow plyo, fast plyo, and then we've got heavy power, light power, high reps, low reps, short intervals and stuff like that, okay? So I need to go and be like, all right, is this person adapting to the strength stimulus that I want, and maybe I switch it, or maybe I change the stimulus, or maybe we repeat, maybe we just stay the same, okay? But that is based off what happens in this testing compared to what I did in this testing, okay? So that's kind of 3-4 months apart, but it allows the adaptation to happen. I've gone through a few cycles, and I'm allowing myself to make that educated decision to where I need to go from here. I wouldn't probably plan, I'd skeleton plan a full year, but I wouldn't probably plan more than 4 months in advance, because that's when our testing normally happens. I normally test every 3 to 4 months, and that's then educate what's going to happen for the next 3 to 4 months, okay? So macro plans from my ideal would be more 3-4 months long, and then extrapolate out. It just gets you good planning, okay? Gets you excited, you know where you're meant to be going, and you're able to focus on certain things, okay? Cool. So if we go over to your one, you can see in here, so these are all boom, 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 where we'd go. So let's say we've got a footballer, and our season, I don't know, we're going through pre-season or something like that. So, or we're end of the season. Let's go football. It's fine. End of the season is now, right? So let's start in May. We've got probably these lot is like peaking. So we've got some reds in there. So red. Obviously you can just kind of cut and paste this if you really want to, and go through there, okay? So that'd be nice and red. So testing probably not gonna happen until here. So it'll be combine testing as well, probably not aerobic. So we can see it in here. Training phase, you're gonna be in here. So training phase, as you saw, was just competitive. All right, so we know we're going to be competitive here. So we'll merge that cell and then write competitive. I can't spell how either. Then we've got a training block. Obviously, we can highlight this as much as we need to. And then here, we've got training blocks 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this would probably be the end of a training block if we say we're going to be testing here. Training block here, probably be our last one, right? So I'll merge that cell, and maybe this is block at the end of the season, probably block 7, something like that, okay? So we know I'm gonna put a little ring around that. So we know that kind of block is gonna last 5 weeks, okay? And then we got holiday here, let's say. Where's holiday? Deload is probably gonna be a blue, isn't it? Let's put it as a blue. There we go, lovely. Right, then we can change these as much as we need to. If it's a footballer, we need change direction, 1000%. Conditioning, yeah. Isometric focus is probably not. Loaded power, yes. Strength plyos, or that's probably the only thing we need. But we will be doing, maybe we circle this round, but if it's at the end of a season, he's peaking. So linear speed will probably be just probably acceleration. Okay, so in here, so we can tap, merge, cool. Change direction. We'll probably, we'll go mixed, I think, because we're around the end. Probably line up with this block, to be honest. Plyos, it will probably be lower volume, but so we probably want to peak. Remember when we were peaking, we were kind of doing fast stuff, right? So we're going to be there. We're going to go fast plyo. So nice, quick, kind of boom, 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 boom rhythms and stuff like that, okay? Not some of the slow, intent ones. Loaded power, we know we probably want light. So he's moving with speed, okay? We want to be moving with a little bit more velocity. As you can see here, we had fast with light. That's normally the case, unless we're making a different kind of gain. And we probably want low repetitions, okay? Because we're trying to keep that strength throughout. Conditioning, whatever, okay? We'll go for short intervals because we probably are just aiding recovery here. No, yeah, because they got long games, okay? Let's make them all pretty, lovely. We can draw the lines back on, wonderful, all right? So then we can extrapolate that out and it'll be going through, okay? Really simple, that took me 5 seconds to decide, okay? 5 seconds, 5 minutes. Yeah, and then we put in what we want to as we go along, and you quickly will see, you'll be like, all right, I'm gonna write my meso, I'm gonna write my workout plans, and this is what I'm gonna be doing, all right? So this graph, you can see, relates to this here, okay? You've got numbers over here, cool. And obviously the lower number will relate to, I want that low kind of volume, not as intense. And then the higher number means that's what's happening there, okay? So we want that higher. So we know, that's not the one I wanted to look at. We were acceleration, so we had fast plyos, light and low reps. So that was high intensity in May the 19th, okay? So we know we wanted to be peaking for there. So May, week 19. Cool, so it was around here, right? So let's just blanket zeros here up to 19, and then we'll change that, shall we? So we wanted lower volume, so let's hit some 4s, some 3s for the next 3 weeks, and then we'll hit some higher intensities peaking for that time, yeah? And then we'll see what's going on here. We'll just put some zeros in again, shall we? On 25, lovely. So you'll see that jolt down hopefully on that side. Okay, so we've made that decision that we're going to do lower volume here and then higher intensity. Just going to show on that wave graph. I've switched it again on this side. Okay, so you can see I've gone up really high. It's only out of 8. Okay, 8 or 9 I think I put it out of to go up. So you can see that's going to be in this high gauge because we're peaking here and we're nice and low. Just gives a nice visual representation of what could be happening throughout the season. Ignore this bit, it's just me going wavies. Okay, so that would be like my undulating periodization that I might do to focus on certain things. All right. We went over, didn't we? We went over. It's fine, absolutely fine. We'll put me in the middle. Right, so obviously this is free to download. You can go have crazy fun with it. Please put some comments down below, or if you want to look, if you want to be taught through how to use it, give me a message. Obviously I'll respond. And I hope you end up using it for your training for some of your clients. Yeah, because they'll have a nice little visual, been like, all right, so DW knows in July, we'll be doing slow plyos, heavy power, high reps, continuous phases. Cool, he's already in that mindset. We know what we're doing. It's not the nuances of every single session, but we know what's happening. Right, we'll cut that at 20 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, I hope you've listened to me on double quick speed. Obviously, like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Go follow me on probably Instagram is probably the best thing to do. So at Tom Hall, everything is linked down below if you want to see any of my social channels and Spotify's and all that kind of fun stuff, podcasting. Yeah, and if you're ever interested in coaching, just holler, okay? I'm always happy. You can see me like this. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. And we'll catch you for another Tom and 10. We've got some fun stuff happening, breaking down some sports over the next, I think, 10 weeks. So, a lot of work for me. Good luck.